So my theme for this month is going to be beaches. So at the end of all my videos, you guys know that I always put a picture at the end. Last month was butterflies. This month is going to be beaches, I figured, because it's summer, hello, and I would love to be on the beach because I live in Michigan, but I'm not. So anyways, you guys will see pictures of beaches for this month. I'm really excited because I got a lot of really good pictures. Anyways, here we go. Hey guys, KaliFab here, and today is my birthday. So July 1st is obviously today, and that is my birthday. So I figured I would just share a few fun facts about myself today and keep it a light and easy type of video and just kind of go from there, answer a few questions that a few of you have had over the past couple of months. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get right into it. It's not a tag or anything like that. I'm just gonna answer a few questions and just give you guys a little bit of insight about me and who I am. So here we go. Obviously, my name is Kali. My birthday my birthday is July 1st, 1991. I am now 27 years old. Well, I guess not technically, because I was born at 8:17 or 8:19 at night. So technically, I'm not 27 until 8:19 tonight. Unless you're watching this after 8:19, then I'm already 27, unfortunately. But yeah, so I got married to my husband on February 1st of 2012, and that was the best decision I've ever made in my life. I love him so much. He is the best. His name is David, and he is quite a bit older than me, but that is perfectly okay with me because I knew him for quite a while before we got, dating and before we got married and stuff like that. So yes, I was only 20, so quite a while really means like I knew him for 4 years, but we weren't dating until I was 18, if that makes sense. Anyways, and then I had my son 8 days after we got married. I had my son on February 9th of 2012, so that was amazing. His name is Carter. You guys have seen him in many of my videos. He is now 6, so it's just crazy how fast time flies. I can't even believe it. I can't believe it. He's 6. What happened? I don't even know. He's growing up way too fast. He's gonna be in 1st grade this coming year, and it scares the bejesus out of me because, I don't know, it's like he was my baby and now he's like a big boy, and it's just crazy. Anyways, you guys know I have my cat. His name is Mantis. He's actually coming up on his 9th birthday. I actually got him from the Michigan Humane Society. You guys know that I live in Michigan, so I picked him up at the Michigan Humane Society, and with him, I knew I wanted a cat going in, but I wasn't sure like of the color or the temperament or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to feel him out and see what cat I had a connection with. So they had tons of kittens on the day that I ended up going. To adopt, you had to pay $100, and that was basically for the shots, a crate, and for their neutering or spaying. I didn't know if I wanted a girl or a boy cat. I wasn't really particular. I just kind of wanted to see what cat I had a connection with. And I went in there, and there was these like orange kittens, and they were super cute, but it was okay. They had this black girl cat that was like a teenager technically, and she was just like crazy rowdy, so I figured that was too much for me. And then they had a couple different litters of different colored cats, some gray cats, some more black cats, some more like tiger looking cats. They were really cool looking and really pretty and cute, but I just didn't feel a connection with any of them. And then we were on our very last litter, and I was like, you know what, if I don't find a connection with a cat here, then I'll just wait, and then maybe they'll get a new litter in a couple of weeks. So we got the last litter in. It was me, my mom, and one of my best girlfriends, Alex, and we were sitting in there, and they brought this litter of like 6 kittens. And Mantis came right up to me, and he was like this big fluff ball, and they were all black kittens, so I couldn't really tell the difference between any of them except for him. He was like super fluffy, and he was just like so calm. He was so calm, and just he came right up to me and he just laid in my lap, and I was like, oh my god, this is the cat. This is it. This is him. And my mom kind of held him and she's like, oh my god, he is just so sweet and lovable. And then my girlfriend held him and she was just like, oh my god, he's the best, he's so soft and sweet. So we all kind of agreed on him. And then I was like, well, maybe we should get another kitten from the litter to like keep him company. So we got another cat and his name was originally Firefly. Mantis's name that the Humane Society named him was still Mantis. They were all like bugs, so there was Dragonfly, Firefly, Bumblebee, Ladybug. They were all like the bug names. So Mantis was just Mantis, and I kept his name because we love Cedar Point. If you guys have ever been to Sandusky, Ohio, you know what I'm talking about, Cedar Point. And one of my favorite rides and one of my dad's favorite rides is the Mantis. So I was like, how perfect is that? I'm just gonna keep it Mantis. I love that name. And then the other cat that we had gotten was Firefly, and I renamed him Maverick from the ride Maverick at Cedar Point. And I figured Mantis and Maverick, how cute, right? So me and my mom were living in an apartment at the time. We brought the cats home, and Mantis was so good and Maverick was terrible. He climbed everywhere, he scraped up everything, he ruined everything, he broke everything, and he was just a bad influence on Mantis. So my mom was like, you know what, it's really early on, we've only had him for a week, we need to get rid of him. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And she's like, I can just take him back and then he'll go right back in the same litter and somebody will get him because he's such a pretty cat. I was like, okay. So while I was at work one day, she ended up taking him back to the Humane Society because she knew I wouldn't be able to give him up. So then we kept Mantis, and he was just like the angel kitty. If I can pull up a picture of him when he was a kitten, I will pull up a picture, but he was just the best little kitten ever. I loved him so much, and I still do, as you guys clearly can see. So that is the story with Mantis. And then I have two dogs. They are Bailey and Zoe. We got Bailey. I actually got Bailey for my husband for our first Christmas together, and she's gonna also be 9 this year. Oh, yeah, 9? 8? Maybe 8. Maybe they're both gonna be 8. They were born in 2009. So they're both going to be 9 this year. That's crazy. Anyways, so I just picked her up, and I was like, David, this is the one. And I handed her to David, and he was like, oh my god, this is the one. And we named her Bailey after Dr. Bailey on Grey's Anatomy. We love her. We loved her more as the Nazi, if you guys remember that season from way back. The Nazi, Dr. Bailey, we loved her. Now it's different, obviously. We don't even watch Grey's Anatomy anymore because it's just, they're just dragging it on. But anyways, and then we have Zoe. We got her just 2 years ago. She's only 2, and David named Zoe. But yeah, those are my animals. I love them to death, and I would never change anything about them. They are complete individuals. They all do their own thing, and they're all the best. So there's that. So another thing about me, you guys, well, most of you know I work at a hospital. I am an x-ray tech, and I really enjoy it. I do like inpatients, I do outpatients, I do in the OR, ER, trauma, like the recess bay, which is crazy. I come home with some crazy stories from my husband, whether or not he likes to hear it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of hard work, and sometimes it's really boring, and sometimes it's really annoying because the people I work with, and you know, sometimes the patients and stuff like that. But to be honest, that's at every single job, so I don't really think there's any getting around that. But yeah, so there's that. I had a question about my ankle. I have mentioned my ankle injury a couple times to you guys, so I am going to insert a couple of pictures here. So if you guys are squeamish at all, maybe just close your eyes and listen for a minute. But in 2016, September of 2016, I was playing volleyball and had kind of shuffled backward to pass a ball, and I snapped my Achilles tendon. I ruptured it completely, and I knew it was my Achilles when I did it. It had a really loud pop, and I fell on the ground thinking that somebody behind me had kicked me in the back of the ankle. I was actually kind of pissed off at first, and then I realized that nobody was there and that I had ruptured my Achilles. So I had a couple of people drive me home and drive my car home. So that was interesting, and my husband drove me up to the hospital. I got a brace and x-rays, and I knew that x-rays wouldn't really see anything because it's a tendon. You could barely see the rupture on the x-rays, so I went to see my orthopedic doctor, which was Dr. Afsari. I will give him a shameless plug because he is amazing. If you guys are ever in the Metro Detroit area and you need any orthopedic work, Dr. Afsari, he's your man. I went to him, and I basically knew that I wanted him to be my doctor, and I got a cast on to hold me over for a week. The injury happened on Thursday, and I didn't have surgery until the next week, Wednesday. So then after surgery, it was pretty rough going. My ankle was in pretty rough shape for quite a while. I didn't know if I was going to get full function back in my ankle and my foot and movement and stuff like that. I did end up going to physical therapy. I went a little later than I should have, but I did go, and I did make sure I did all my physical therapy. So now my left foot is the injured foot, actually is more stretchy, can stretch further than my right ankle, which is kind of interesting because of all the work I had put in with physical therapy. So when I graduated physical therapy, they were so pleased with everything I had accomplished and how well I had done sticking with the routine and the schedule and keeping up on my physical therapy at home. So that is that story. I will, if you guys are curious about more stuff with hospital and x-rays and my injury and stuff like that, give me questions down below and I can answer them again in like maybe a get ready with me or something. But yeah, I do have my mom and my dad. My parents have been divorced since I was 10 years old, so that was really rough at the beginning of my childhood and, you know, the beginning of my puberty years. Basically that was pretty rough, but I got through it, and you know, now I have a different story than many others do, or maybe it's the same story but just in a different light than other people do. So if you have questions about that, leave those down below. So now I am this 27-year-old working mom and wife, and we live in a, you know, small house, but you know, it works for us, and we don't pay $1 million a month on our house, which is great. And I live 10 minutes from my job, which is fantastic. My husband lives quite far from his job, but yeah, one day we'll move out to his job area because it's a much nicer area. But for now, this is where we are, and this is what we're working with. But yeah, I don't know what else I want to talk about. That's just me in a nutshell, I guess. I don't know. If you guys have any other questions for me that I can answer in like a Q&A for you guys, then leave them down below. I'll also leave a picture of like this on Instagram. And if you guys have any questions for me for a later Q&A, maybe like later in the month or whatever, then just let me know. So I'd be happy to answer any questions or go in more detail on anything else that you guys would like to know about me. So yeah, anyways, I hope that was a good, you know, little Q&A, get to know me, because I know a lot of you guys only know me here just based on my beauty stuff and not really anything else. So I figured I would kind of open up a little bit to you guys on my birthday, and it's also Canada Day. So if you live in Canada, happy Canada Day. I know my girlfriend Leslie, I know you're watching, she always remembers my birthday because it's Canada Day. Silly enough. Anyways, but I hope you guys, you know, kind of got to know me a little bit better, and if you guys have any similar experiences or circumstances than me, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. But anyways, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them below as well, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.